Good morning, everyone. Thank you for checking us out. This is volume 65 of Grown Women Gaming. Today we have a pretty lengthy show for you. We'll be discussing the latest news from Inside Xbox, few GDC leaks, things of that nature. So let me just talk about the panel here. So, ladies, what have you been playing this week? I'll start with you, LBOOGIE.
Well, basically, I've been playing the game behind us. Been playing a lot of the Division, and only the Division. So yeah, I'm at level 20 right now.
Wow.
Trying to get to max level so I can start the end game stuff. I did a little bit, the little first mission for the Dark Zone, just to get you acquainted. But yeah, I got my crew. You know, the same people I played Division 1 with, and yeah, we getting it.
Oh wow, so Division, only Division. That's it, nothing else.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. What about you, lady? What you been playing?
I just finished. Hello everyone. Good morning, chat. Good morning, panel. This is me, Lady Infamous. I've been playing the NBA Live 19. I finished God of War finally. I got my ass kicked in Horizon Zero Dawn, so I had to backtrack. And now I'm on the level up game, trying to level up my character so she can be able to beat the final boss, because I'm like literally one mission away of beating that game, and my level wasn't high enough. So I'm just trying to get that last RPG out the way, and then just ready for the new rounds of games I'll be able to play and share with you guys.
All right, so you just been backlogging it, pretty much.
Yes, it is. Oh, I'm planning to get the Division next week, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let me just put that nibit in there.
Okay.
By
so
the time I
Division
get
2
off
next
work,
week, lady, we'll be on that.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be a faded Friday night on Division 2. Best believe it.
Yeah, so what about you, CHAREECE?
I'm like Boogie. I ain't playing nothing but Division. When I got back from Atlanta, I was up playing Division at 11 o'clock at night. My husband went to sleep on me, and I played for 2 hours. I am now level 14. I'm getting up there to Boogie.
Wait, you said you played for 2 hours and you already level? Wait, how long?
No.
Okay.
I've been playing.
Because your story kind of.
Yeah, sorry. Ever since I got back from Atlanta, I have been playing nothing but Division.
I got you. Okay.
Those 2 days took me out the game, and I don't like that.
I see. All right. So for me, I've been playing the Division. I started playing it a little bit last night. Thank you, Boogie. I've been playing it now for about, I would say, about 2 hours or so. I'm at level 3, going on 4. And so far it's been a fun game. Outside of that, I've been playing a little bit of Anthem, still grinding in that, all these looter shooter type games. So yeah, it's been pretty fun. But yeah. All right, so let's get into these topics, you all. I know you guys saw the list. And so I'm going to start off with Inside Xbox Season 2, Episode 2. It was their International Women's Day episode. So the entire cast that was on that show was all women. It was a pretty big deal for them, and I thought it was a pretty great show. I just want to get you all's opinion on that. So first question, did you all watch the Inside Xbox episode?
I saw a little bit, because every time they go live, I'm always at work.
Right. Same here.
I'm always at work. They're doing, to be honest with you, with the content, it was well balanced. The Halo news is what was most exciting. Also, Halo. The Halo saga is going to go to PC. People, I see non-Xbox fans excited about the Halo series going to PC.
Yeah.
Also, for me, that got interesting was the little tidbit of FanFest news that got me hyped.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for the next show. I might have to take a day off work just to see it. That's how I'm excited about it.
I look at it like this. I guess I'll go and speak on it. I don't think they're gonna show anything that's on E3's level. They never have, so I don't understand why people set their expectations so high for that. I like the fact that it was an all-female show. I thought it was pretty classy, considering the fact that it was International Women's Day, just I think a couple days before. I thought it was good. I think the pacing could have been a little bit better, because they did this really huge announcement with Halo Master Chief Collection coming to PC at the beginning, and then it kind of just flatlined a little bit after that until it got to like xCloud towards the end. So I think they still need to kind of clean that up, but it was overall, I think it was a decent show. It was nice to see, the ladies up there and stuff. So what about you, Boogie? What'd you think of the Inside Xbox episode?
Yeah, I kind of like watched at it while I was doing some other stuff, but yeah, I liked it. I saw the xCloud stuff. I actually just like got into it because people were like, I don't know, I feel like they're overly critiquing it, one, because it was a female playing, and then they're like, well, it doesn't look like she's playing it, and I'm like, well, that's kind of how you play Forza,
right? I mean,
you don't just hold the trigger and hope for the best.
And that's true, because like I think his name is Brad Sams came out and did a video analyzing when you play it versus when you play it at home on a controller versus it was being played on xCloud. It was like 1-to-1. That's just kind of how you play Forza, and I think it's crazy that they're like blaming latency. They're blaming everything under the sun,
Right?
Because you have to drift in that game. You have to sometimes tease the analog sticks in order to get where you want to go. So yeah, what about you, CHAREECE? Sorry, Boogie. He said, "Oh, Boogie, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? You can go ahead."
No, I'm good. It's all right.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we can go back to Boogie because I'm still catching up on the news for this past week because of my trip.
Yeah.
I did catch the news that was released. I have not been able to rewatch the show yet, and now that I know that it was an all woman show, that it's more ammunition for me to watch it. Because we need to support that. That was awesome. That's awesome.
Right. It's one show out of how many? Like, I don't understand the big. It was. I mean, you should have seen the comments. It was kind of disgusting. I was watching the show. You know, they had the chat replay, and it's just like people on there, would say off the wall things about it being all women, and it just surprises me that they're still doing this. Like, this is still a problem. I don't.
Of course it is.
Right. I don't understand. I don't get it. But so yeah. So thoughts on xCloud? Any other thoughts on xCloud?
It looks awesome. Like, I know that it's very much in its infancy, so for you to expect it to be, like all the way together, I'm pretty sure they were only trying to give a snippet of it because, PlayStation had announced their version of remote play. But I know that it's not finished. It's still, being worked on. So I don't know. I'm not as critical as some people are, so you can call me a bot or whatever. But I know that I don't believe that Xbox is lying to people.
Yeah, me either.
But I do think that it's just something that's not ready yet.
Yeah, and I feel like, because people had got a chance to demo the Google Stream service, right? And I feel like if Google's was working great with Assassin's Creed, it's a great chance that Microsoft's is probably working great with whatever game, because it's already been reported that the latency is better with the xCloud.
Right.
So I don't. People are gonna make their own, opinions based on that small demo, but I think it's bigger than that. And I think that I wish they would have kind of demoed more than just Forza. They could have demoed like Halo. Since they just talked about the Master Chief Collection, they could have had Reach on there. Like, it would have been a great opportunity to kind of cross promote that. So it's little things like that I think they need to do in order to kind of make people understand that this is real. Like, if Google's doing it, y'all can believe Google. Why you don't want to believe Microsoft? Like, it makes it makes no sense at all. All right.
I think everybody, they get consoles stuck in their own little bubble and they can't really do anything. And the fact that Microsoft and now Sony is kind of reaching out and trying other things, people are not, it's out of their comfort zone and they don't like that.
Right.
Because when that streaming to iOS was announced, there was a lot of I saw some people upset about that too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna touch on that too. That's definitely down the list on the topics.
Oh yeah, that's
as
right.
As far as them talking about the Microsoft Game Stack, and them appealing to mobile developers with their platform. So yeah, another thing that came out of the whole that was kind of announced during the same time of the Inside Xbox episode was Microsoft renamed the Microsoft Square to Xbox Plaza right before E3 is 2019 is coming up. And so that plaza that you walk through, what I'm talking about, right in front of the Microsoft Theater, it used to be called Microsoft Square. They changed it to Xbox Plaza. So I think that's pretty neat. It makes me feel like they're really trying to refocus the brand there, and that for more of a mass appeal. So I mean, is this something you guys excited about? Do you think they're gonna really kind of turn it into like a gaming type deal over there, or you just think it's just a complete rename, and that's it?
It makes sense. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I think it's great, to be honest with you. Everybody know it's my preferred brand. I would see like a Microsoft store somewhere in there, maybe more. I just want to see what they're gonna do with the space. I don't want it to see like just a slap on a name and that's it. I hope they can like utilize some of the spaces to their benefits, because it's Xbox. So I'm assuming that they have like some special spaces specifically for gamers, and that's my wish list. But that's it. I mean, very simple. I just don't want it to be like a name slap.
Just change the name and do nothing else, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what it is with me. Okay. Yeah. LBOOGIE, what you was talking about?
I was just going to say that it would make sense because, that whole plaza is game centered, right? With sports and whatnot. And esports is, trying to make a name for itself. So it would be pretty cool if they did do something like that. Had like a large Microsoft store there. Had a bunch of games for people to be able to play and stuff like that. Have tournaments and whatnot down there. It would be a smart move.
And the location is super perfect. Like, because you got the Microsoft Theater right there, the plaza's there, and then you got, it's just all in one nice vicinity. So it's perfect. Right. This would be a perfect way to cross brand, and people are constantly walking through there because of the Staples Center and all other events that's going on there. It's absolutely brilliant, and I think they should have been done this. It's they definitely want to push the Xbox brand forward on it. So yeah. Any other comments regarding the Xbox Plaza, xCloud, MCC?
I got one. Sure. First of all, when I first read it, I thought it was petty as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie.
Why?
Why? Okay, Nintendo and Sony ain't gonna be there. Okay, so we're just gonna take over the whole damn square. Fine.
Oh, they can be over there. They gotta pay for it though. They can be over there. It'd be Nintendo event sponsored by Xbox Plaza. Like
I was like, that's just, and I love them for it. That made my petty heart so happy.
You're so crazy.
But honestly, when you're talking about the same area that was there last year,
right? That little walking, exactly.
Yeah, that area is perfect for gaming. And this rebranding, I like it. They're putting finally they are pushing the Xbox brand instead of just the Microsoft by itself. That's what we are. We're Xbox players. Let everybody know it. Be loud. Be proud. Hell, go with it.
Right. So I know we all primarily console gamers. I play VR on PC, but how do you guys feel about the Master Chief Collection going to PC?
Okay, this is the thing with me. Is it gonna? My question is, am I gonna be able to cross-play with people on PC multiplayer?
Ooh, I don't know if that was.
That would be a good question.
Was that even announced? I don't remember if that was even like announced.
That's my thing, because
I think that might be a later announcement. I don't know for certain.
I hope so, because that's what's making or breaking it for me. I don't want to go. I want to experience playing Halo with my PC friends who love Halo but don't got Xbox. And I told them, look, if they crossplay, I'm down. I play with you.
Right.
I'll play 3 and 4 with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what. But I didn't get any news on that. And that's important too, because one of the good aspects of playing Halo was that co-op story mode. And not everybody gonna have a PC, and most of the people that are experiencing Halo are console players. So it got to be some gap to bridge up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my opinion about that.
Yeah, like I look at it in kind of a similar fashion. Like I definitely wouldn't mind cross playing with PC players, but at the same time, it's like they're gonna have an advantage because of keyboard and mouse. So I would want to be able to kind of filter out the PC players that are essentially like the people that's using keyboard and mouse, and if they're using a controller, I play with those PC players. That kind of deal because Halo is built around a controller, the gamepad, and so I mean I think that should be the preferred way to play Halo. Um, I mean, of course, I'm just speaking from my console loving heart. On that's that's the way I prefer it. But I think this is great for PC gamers. I mean, they gotta get a chance, like especially if they never play Halo, they get a chance to kind of jump into the series and go through the Master Chief entire like history, even with Reach, and Reach is gonna be on Game Pass. So I think. I think it's a good look. I just hope that they do it right when it comes to, like you said, like cross play and stuff like that. So, what about you, Boogie?
I think she
And
muted.
I think so too.
I'm extremely happy that it is coming um to the PC. Halo Master Chief is an excellent franchise. I don't care if nobody said yes. The last one has some missteps, but the first 1, 2, 3 ODST and Reach are excellent games. I don't care what anybody say. Everybody needs to have a chance to play them, and honestly, that's all what this is, for more people to play your games. And this gives that opportunity to people who've never had an Xbox, who've only been PC players, to play this game. This is an excellent franchise. Everybody needs to fall in love with Master Chief.
I mean, it's hard not
honestly.
to, especially when you.
Thank you.
I mean, he's a.
Okay,
Okay, let's be
we're not
real.
gonna ignore Halo 5 though, right?
Right.
We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk
Okay,
about
okay.
it. Or better
I'm
yet,
just saying.
or
I'm
better
just
yet,
saying.
or go through Reach and like fall in love with these characters and watch just all, because you know how this ends. You know how Reach is the prequel to Halo 1, and
Right.
you know how this ends.
Yes.
And to actually cry when these people basically die. No, it's not a spoiler, people, because hey, this game is almost 2 years old, and again, that's how one starts off.
Mhm.
It's heartbreaking. Everybody needs to experience that. Or
Yeah.
ODST, which is actually like a detective story set in the Halo universe, and you're not really a Spartan. You're not the shock troops or whatever. That story is excellent.
The
And people-
ODST, yeah.
yes, ODST was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because like an ODST was interesting because you was like you didn't have as much strength as a Spartan. Like it was pretty cool how they played on that, and then the same thing goes for like Reach. Like it's on a completely different planet. It was just different, I like the way they tried to make them their own unique entities, and it was the last Bungie game.
Yeah.
So I think it has a nice little special asterisk by it. And it's very beloved too by the Halo community. So this was a good look. I'm glad it's coming to Game Pass because then I can just cop it, play it, enjoy it, and shelve it, and be done. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a great announcement on this show as well. All right, so another thing too, like I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of the Microsoft Studio, or excuse me, Xbox Game Studio company, the Initiative. Well, the Initiative, like they released a promo video earlier this week, pretty much talking about like how they want to stay nimble, stay small, and things like that. And it kind of brushed up some controversy because before it was like they're gonna be this quadruple A studio with large team and make these high profile games and things like that. But it's like the video that was released was more like kind of indie dev looking, kind of small team with like 15 people and things like that. So I just want to get you guys' take on the Initiative, and what do you guys think about that? If you've seen the video, what's your thoughts? So anybody can jump in.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you got it, lady?
No, you got it. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm fine with this. Not every game has to be AAA. Not every studio has to, be 500 people max. The smaller games need love too. If it went for small devs, I wouldn't have got Child of Light, which was an offshoot of one of the Ubisoft things. They wanted to make an internal team of like, I don't know, maybe 20 something people decided to break off and just make this game in their spare time. Child of Light is a awesome game. We wouldn't get that if we stuck with big studios all the time. Right. Think of what Cuphead isn't. Cuphead a small studio?
Mm-hmm.
And we need that. So I have no problems with them wanting to stay small. maybe in the future they might want to go large and do a large scale game. But right now, let them do what's comfortable for them. Don't rush them. Let them grow. Let them continue to do what's right for them.
Yeah. And I think it depends on what kind of game they make. Like if they come up with something that's grandiose, they're gonna need like a large team in order to kind of support that. I think they're gonna have to, probably team up with another studio to kind of make that vision come to fruition. Because the game development takes time. I feel like whatever they create is good. It ain't coming out to easy to like 2022 or 2024. Because it just seemed like we're watching this company grow from an infancy stage. And so I think people expectations with them talking about like quadruple A and they got this team. This team is remarkable, by the way. I mean, they've made some of them amazing games.
I'm checking their backlog.
It's ridiculous. I mean, from God of War to like Tomb Raider. I mean, their pedigree is insane. So, whatever they make, it's got a great chance of being something phenomenal. But we're gonna be waiting for a while. Like, that's how I look at it. We're going to be waiting on this game for a hot minute. And hot minute in slang terms mean more than a minute, possibly a couple years. Like, so, I'm just saying.
Look, I'm going to say it straight up. I love what they're trying to do. I agree with Chareece. We don't need good games. I'm telling you, the last couple of years that I've been playing video games ain't really been the big games, the big AAA studios that, got me like, ooh, in my feelings about video games. It's really the smaller indie titles. Mm-hmm. Like Night School Studios. Ooh, they did The Night in the Woods, and I think they did Oxenfree, and they're gonna do one with another one called, I forgot it, House Party or something like that. I played it before. It's about these two kids. They go to hell, and there's a party in hell, and then there's things happen.
Okay.
Yes. I want to, like Delilah said, it will be a hot minute. I'm waiting, and I'd rather spend my money on some good quality gaming content than a carbon copy AAA title every year. And yes, I said it because I used to be that person that bought Call of Duty every year with the map packs and the zombie map packs. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, those games are in my heart, but as you grow older, your taste in game changes. Well, for me at least. So I would like to see more indies like do some big things with small games. That's it.
Right. I mean, like you said, we don't know what they're going to end up being. I mean, right now, we're just watching them grow. Like, it's, I don't even know exactly how many employees they have right now, but that video, it looked like it was just about 8 of them, and they were just moving into their office. Like, it was super, I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it looked super, like, humble beginnings. We're just starting out. Like, this is what we are going to do, and this is what we want to do. We want to be this type of studio, and it just seems super new, right?
Yeah. It looked like the video you're watching your training.
Right, yeah. So it's interesting. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. The fact that they were able to get backed by Microsoft being so young, like that's huge in its own right. A lot of small teams never get that type of off the rip. Like, we just gonna be, Microsoft is gonna trust us to just start out brand new and make something. I think this to me, that speaks volumes. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to whatever they do. Regardless of how long the wait's gonna be. I don't know if we've got Boogie back or what, but
yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, so yeah, we asked you, but I think you kind of faded out or something like that. We couldn't hear you, but so what's your thoughts on the initiative and that whole thing? And that, did you see the video, the hype video they came out with?
I didn't get to watch the video, but I've spoke to what's his name, the head guy before, and they're very small. They're just starting out, like. But I think that, I think that too many people are, they think they're about to come out, and then we're gonna get the next, Last of Us 2 or whatever from them, and like, those games are great, but they take years upon years to develop, and it's like such a clusterfuck just getting there. The game is never what it was intended to be. It's always some other version of that, and you really don't want every game to be like that. Like what Lady was saying, like some of the smaller games will be some of your most fun experiences. So I don't know. I feel like some of us are open-minded. We like to play different things. And then some of us that are more vocal because they apparently have time to be, tend to voice their negative opinion. And I think people focus on the negative instead of all the other people, the millions of people that are purchasing these other games.
Right. Like I agree with you completely there. It's like seems like the negative sound always gets the loud. It's what's behind the megaphone, and that's
you ain't lying.
It trips me out. It's like you feel like you can't be excited or happy or positive about something these days because it's like the negativity is so much more apparent. They are more put to the forefront instead of like this is what this team is trying to do. No one really know exactly what it's gonna be, but man, let's support them for trying. Kind of do. All right, so I'm gonna move on from the initiative. Like I said, I enjoyed the video. I thought it was cool, but still early. So GDC is next week, and we do have like a Grown Women Gaming member that's gonna be at the WIG and the BIG event that's hosted by Microsoft. Lady, do you want to talk about GDC for a little while and what you're gonna be doing at that event?
Okay. I didn't write nothing down, so I'm gonna go straight off the dome. As soon as I figured out that Microsoft were doing events at in the Bay Area, I try to hit up as much of them as I can, representing Grown Women Gaming. The last couple of years, I've been going to the Women in Gaming rally or luncheon. It depends what year you went, and it's basically a meetup with women in the gaming industry and from Microsoft. They have a couple of panels there. Women that loves video games. It doesn't even necessarily just Xbox fans, just women that love gaming. We go, we converse, we eat, we network, and we just talk about different perspectives in video games, and it's a good seen to be seen place, because there's always somebody watching you. So I try my very best to conduct myself in the best way possible when I'm out there on these streets, because it's very important that if you're truly serious about trying to get your awareness on what you're trying to put out here in the video game industry, you just can't do it behind the screen. You can't do it behind a keyboard. You have to be out there. You have to show your face. You have to be in them. You have to slang them business cards, and you got to put yourself out there. Also, there's one for Black in Gaming. I hate the name. Why they hate? I just hate Black in Gaming.
Well, what would you recommend they call it? Like when I see the name, like I don't get offended or anything like that, but I do wish it was a little bit different.
I didn't say I was offended. I just said it should have been different.
Yeah, but when you really think about it on a deep level, it's like, what could you call it? Like, it's really like
I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But you know what? I might figure it out. That particular one, they do fireside chats, awareness with African Americans in the video game industry. Sometimes Phil will be there. Sometimes Adrian Greenberg be there. Sometimes Shannon Lawless might be there. There's going to be a lot of people working in the Xbox industry. I'm going to try to give you guys as much footage as I possibly can. You know me. Sometimes in events I get really, really nervous about filming because I know not everybody don't feel like getting filmed,
Right, absolutely.
So what I try to do is maybe me, and then I'll do like a wraparound of the venue, then I'll do a couple of highlights from certain panels, and piece them together and put a video out. Even it's never, this is my third year going, and it's still nervous for me. Because they're watching you, and they'll know if you legit love video games, or you just bullshit.
You just there.
You just there. You know what I mean? And I want them to know that I'm there. I want them to know that I'm Lady Infamous from Grown Women Gaming. I don't want them to not know who I am, because me as a woman of color, a woman, it's still, even though we making baby steps towards what we trying to get known here, we still a little further behind.
Right.
And even me just going to an event, conducting myself as a woman that loves video games and display my passion, I think that's the first initial steps.
Yeah,
and anybody can
just,
do it.
And just to kind of put a little stamp on that, like, Black women make less than 1% of the game development market, less than 1%, and I think that speaks volumes. I mean, it definitely allows you to understand why they can't get African American hair correct in games, why they can't, get character creation correct in games when it comes to African American women. So I mean, I don't understand this too. Is it because, like, as a community, and are we just not applying to those positions? Like what causes that to where we are super underrepresented when it comes to that type of thing? So, I mean, anybody else want to speak on this? Go ahead. Feel free. Just jump in.
I was just going to say that they could call it Gaming with Color.
Gaming with Color.
That's a good one.
Ah, no, that's a good name. That's cool.
That was all.
That was it? You don't want to go into elaborate a little bit as to
I mean, I wish I could be there. Like, I went to the first one with a lady, and
I first met LBOOGIE at GDC.
Oh, nice.
And I was nervous. Yes.
Yeah. Like,
yes.
Hey, I'm just meeting this stranger that I play video games with. Like, yeah.
I'm like, girl, come to my job. Girl, come. Let's get you hooked up on this coffee. So it was great because I was more than just a person behind a screen. I had to let LBOOGIE know, like, look, if I'm serious about this grown woman gaming shit, I have to display myself. I have to put myself out there. I have to put myself outside my comfort zone. Right. And I implore anybody, whoever wants to do anything that they want to do, you got to put yourself out there. Because trust me, I got my insecurities all day, but I still got to do what I got to do.
I mean, I agree. Someone in the chat, when I was talking about the whole less than 1% as far as African American women being in gaming, he was saying, well, maybe the interest isn't there, and I completely agree with that. I mean, because we talked about this before on this show, on how, like, our family members, like, I have a bunch of sisters, and it's like how they treat me as far as being a gamer. Like, yes. It's kind of like second-class citizen almost, and it's kind of sad.
Like, you supposed to get married and have kids and go vacations and cruises and stuff, but you over here, you need to put the games down. I'm like, but in my particular case, that's what keeps me sane. That's when I literally mean video games keep me sane. I put that in the utmost respect because it's a lot of people's keeping them sane. You know what I mean? And I cannot just sit by and not try to be represented a little bit,
right?
Without being negative, without being catty, without being vindictive, just being a positive person doing these things.
Well, see, that's just it. I love this industry just like anybody else. Like, the passion I have for this industry is on a ridiculous, like, insanely high level. So it's just been a part of my life. I've been playing since I was 4.5 years old. So for me, this is just the way I live. Like, this is just a part of me. So when I see things like that, it's a little bit discouraging. It's like, is this an industry I'm supposed to tackle? Is this something that I'm supposed to try to invest my time and effort into? So because it can be a little bit discouraging from all fronts when it comes to it. And I know I'm going a little bit off topic here, but yeah.
So I'm excited. I gotta get my outfit ready. I gotta do my hair on Sunday. I got my lashes on point. So I'm gonna get y'all some content. Just gonna be a little light on the streaming, and we'll have some content out by, like, next week Friday.
Yep. All right. So anything else as far as GDC? Well, I know that Microsoft announced that they're gonna have their Microsoft Game Stack. And Google is also doing a GDC keynote. But let's talk about Microsoft Game Stack real quick. So they are pretty much combining all of their services that they supply right now to developers in order to make games on Xbox and, put Xbox Live, like the Azure hosting, everything. They're combining all of that into one nice little package for developers. But the biggest thing and what caused the rumor mill to go crazy this week was the fact that Xbox Live is going to be supported on iOS and Android. Mm-hmm. And so I'll start with you, Boogie, on what you think about the whole Xbox Live being on iOS and Android.
I mean, I think it's necessary for the xCloud to be to dominate, right? I also think that we're gonna have probably more of these arcade style games that we used to have with the 360.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I know that that's like one of the biggest complaints I like heard people, which will probably turn around. People will be like, "What is this? What is this?" But I know that one of the biggest complaints when they went over to Xbox One, that they wanted more arcade style stuff. So we shall see how that works out. But I'm excited. Like.
Yeah, I'm great.
I don't see how you couldn't be excited, but
I mean, normally with on iOS and Android, the only Xbox Live support games that like pretty much games you play on your phone that you can get Xbox achievements from are like Microsoft first party published titles. Like the Word of Mint, and they got a bunch of other like Hexic type deal, like mostly mobile-esque games, but you're able to get achievements from those games. I think this is all that is. The ability to support achievements and Xbox Live progress, so yeah. It's
okay.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm not really tech savvy, but if this can help services throughout Microsoft, as far as consumers and gaming developers, I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
I just look at it as like this is getting achievements from your mobile games. Like, that's awesome. I don't understand how that's a bad or negative thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I'm not knowledgeable.
No, I'm not you. I'm just saying other people have said like.
Well, that's them. Okay, that's them. It's one thing to not know and you want to be knowledgeable on things that you want to learn, like Microsoft Azure, Simply Gone, or a Serve PlayFab. I don't know this, but as a lover of games, I won't mind learning. But then you got people that see these things and may not know what they are, or they do know what they are and they still want to shit on it just because they got the Microsoft name on it. But and especially with the iOS mobile crossover, PlayStation did it like a week ago, and it was rah and woohoo. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's cool. If that's your preferred console, that's fine. It doesn't. It's all about being knowledgeable of what you're trying to do. Right. Don't talk shit about shit if you don't not knowledgeable of what you're talking about. I can't sit here and talk about Power BL or BI because I don't know about it. But as a consumer of Microsoft, I need to know what's going on. I think it's a great thing. I think we're moving as a unit, not a PlayStation or Xbox thing. Just as a unit of gaming, we're pushing forward to being more and more mobile, less disc, less physical, I would say. Right. So either you're gonna adapt either you gonna adapt or you gonna fall off. And I'm not trying. I done spent a lot of time and money on my number one habit. So I'm not planning to fall off. I'm just gonna plan to adapt to it.
Yes. Well, what do you think, Boogie, about this? Because like, Lady just touched on something I want to get a opinion on. Was the digital consumption, as far as like how we're transitioning over to that.
As far as what particularly?
As far as gaming in general, like it's like as if the industry is making the shift, and so Microsoft Game Stack is essentially adapting to that shift. Everybody going out because they have this digital console, this all digital Xbox One S console that's coming out. Right. So I want to kind of get your opinion on that. And I mean, are you all digital this generation? Like with all the games that you purchase?
If it's a game that I like, I'm definitely buying it digital. Mm-hmm. And it's hard too, because I think I've talked about this before in a previous episode, but I think people don't realize that, with the graphic fidelity that we're starting to require of video games, that discs just aren't going to cut it as far as being able to house that. And most people don't want multiple discs to be able to play a game. And you're just not going to be able to deliver that amount of data on a single disc. And we haven't, I don't know if you've seen anything, I've looked for it, but I haven't seen any new media that's going to be able to hold, over 100 gigs, and we already know we're there. We're already at 100 gigs.
All right, they got the dual layer Blu-ray, but yeah, it's still not enough. I mean, even Red Dead Redemption had to release on multiple discs, so yeah. All right, I was trying to get CHAREECE in here. I haven't heard her at all. But I definitely want to get her opinions on what she think about, you know, the digital gaming and things like that. So if she can hear us, I haven't heard her. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. And you know, Google, of course, they've been making some buzz in the interwebs and all that because of the fact that they have a GDC keynote coming up, and they're gonna be talking about their streaming service that we mentioned earlier. So then they also made huge news by hiring former Ubisoft exec Jade Raymond as VP. So they're about to get ready to do this huge gaming push, and so Google is looking to be a major player. So I want to get you guys' opinion on this and what you think about Jade Raymond joining the squad.
I just have to say that I love what Google is doing, and I love how this is going to piss off so many men. I'm just saying.
As far as Jade Raymond being a VP,
yeah, right,
yeah.
But it's a double-edged sword, because if she doesn't produce, they're gonna be all on top of her.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's great. I think that this industry is probably one of the best right now for females to have upward mobility, but at the same time, we cannot make mistakes because of the industry that this is. We are in a heavily misogynistic industry, and they just do not tolerate women making mistakes.
It's heavy. That's pretty heavy.
Yes.
That's pretty heavy. I look at
was that heavy? Because it's the truth.
I look at it like this. I look at Google. It's like, okay, they're coming in. They're gonna be making this transition into the gaming space. They got plenty money to do it. Plenty money to compete. So it's gonna get ridiculous as far as like who's gonna get what game content. You know, of course, they're gonna want exclusive content for their platform. So, I mean, do you think the industry, normally it's just been the big three, do you think this industry has room for like 2 to 3 more players? Like legit streaming kind of gaming players?
I don't know.
Because I could see what people can, one of them's gonna get cut. Somebody gonna get cut.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Because people have already built up the ecosystems with Microsoft. They done built up ecosystems with PlayStation, Nintendo, all of that, right? So it's like Google, the only advantage I see Google have here is the fact that people already have Gmail. So everybody's pretty much already signed up. You don't got to go and re-sign up. You just log in with your Gmail account, and you pretty much can have access to all of their services. It's going to be, to me, it's going to be possibly a seamless rollout of this. It's like, look, just log into your log in with your Google account, and you pay for what you want as far as your streaming service and what games. You still have to buy the game separately, so nothing will change there. But this is our platform. I feel like it's going to be a simple rollout. So,
I don't know. They've been secretly having problems that get hushed quite quickly with data leaks and data breaches and losing people's information. So I'm still a little iffy with Google's cybersecurity issues. I mean, everybody has issues, but I don't like that when they have issues that it gets hushed.
Yeah, or shut down.
Right.
Like,
right. Because you letting my data out. Like, they're alerting me and telling me, hey, your data is compromised, your passwords are compromised. You're going to have to, go in and redo all your passwords and make sure no one is stealing your money and shit like that. So,
Yeah, I think it was a Google Plus. Google Plus. I think it was what you're referring to. That issues with that as far as like security leaks, breaches, and stuff like that. Right. So they pulled it.
And what they did, they just shut down the division.
Right.
They're like, instead of us fixing this issue, we're just going to shut down this division. So, yeah,
it could be a problem, but I look forward to seeing what they have to say. I'm always welcoming new games. Always. Right. But Jade Raymond,
now, my question to you,
come with it. Jade Raymond has to come with it. But go ahead.
Now, my question to you is: do you think that Google is going to also have the same multi-plats that Xbox and PlayStation and sometimes Nintendo has?
Yes.
Like, is this just going to be another place where it's all these multi-plats?
No, I believe they're gonna it's gonna be twofold. I think they're gonna have third party support. They're gonna have
Mhm.
to, and they're gonna have their own exclusives that they bring to the table. Whether that's parting with Ubisoft, which I can see that, because I try to tie two and two together. The fact that the game that they had for their demo, or when they had people on trial, was Assassin's Creed, a Ubisoft game. Jay Raymond, ex Ubisoft person, that's now a VP at Google. Like, I could easily see them kind of combining forces to make exclusives, that kind of deal. I try to make connections where I see them as like almost a parent. So I can see them getting third-party support, just like Microsoft, just like Nintendo, and just like Sony. I mean, it's just gonna be.
It ain't like they ain't got the money to do it.
Right? They got the infrastructure and the money to be able to compete effectively. Now, somebody I do worry about in all of this, believe it or not, it depends on where they have their infrastructure set up. It's Nintendo and Sony when it comes to the streaming stuff. So those are only two that I worry about, because I feel like Amazon can make a power play similar to this. Google can make a power play. Well, they clearly are, with them being a keynote, having the GDC keynote, because I don't think of Google when I think of gaming. I just don't. So for them to be having a keynote at GDC is like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we'll see.
I see you already got your question in there, Mitzi. All right, I got
early,
you.
I see.
You early. I got you. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for competition, man. Y'all want my ducats? Y'all want my change? I'm ready for it, and
that's a good point too.
Yeah, it's gonna be great for gamers, because competition breeds the best out of everybody. So this is gonna be fun. The next couple years is gonna be insane if all these other companies are coming into play. It's gonna be fantastic for us.
Yeah, innovation will be happening.
Yep.
Yeah, we lucky. We're living in a great time right now.
Yeah, we are. But I mean, we also live in a time to where gamers are super vocal, and that brings me to my next topic, which is the BioWare community manager says hostile replies will make developers less likely to engage with their customers when it comes to games. Now, I don't know if you guys have read this article, but it was very kind of apparent to what the developer was trying to say there. Pretty much saying that because the gaming community can be super toxic, that the game developers don't even want to engage sometimes when it comes to their games. And to me, that can be detrimental on both ends. Like, it's detrimental on the fact that we don't get to communicate with the developers, and the developers don't really get to understand what us as gamers want from the game that they're making. So, what do you guys think about this? I'll go with you, LBOOGIE, since I started with Lady last time.
I mean, I can totally understand, because people pick apart every little word that you say online, and sometimes it doesn't matter what you say. You could try to have the best formulated response, and someone is going to be offended, or someone is going to say whatever, you know? So, I don't know. Like, I know we've talked about, I don't know if you guys remember that one female for that smaller game development. She got fired for speaking up to people who were personally attacking her.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now people are probably like, well, I'm not going to say anything. Like, I can't even, and then the guy who helped her got fired too.
Right.
So it's like, so now not only can I not say anything, but if I try to help someone else that's being attacked, I'm going to get in trouble too.
Yeah, so it's where you're walking on eggshells trying to protect your job.
Right. So it's just easier to not engage, right?
Would as a game developer, would you try to engage, and how would you diffuse the situation if that situation occurred to you personally? That's the question.
Sometimes you can't even diffuse those situations, you know, just because of the toxicity that we have, the way social media works. You know what I mean? Because of the anonymity, I'm saying that word wrong. The anonymous.
Yeah, the ability to be anonymous.
Yeah, the ability to be anonymous. People have those Twitter fingers, and they come out in like droves to, like, you know,
troll.
It's like a mob. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that mob mentality. And, you know, how would you like it? You know, you just would choose to not engage, right? if you know that you feel like you're in a corner, that anything you say is going to get picked apart or you're going to be attacked, you just would rather not engage, right?
Right.
I
agree.
I deal with that situation like right now as a person.
I agree
With
with that as a
people with
gamer. Like, yeah.
As a gamer right now, in 2019, with my history in gaming, I have to deal with that all the time. And as much as I like to respond to some of the people that says negative things about me and Grown Woman Gaming, in my personal case, I have to be a bigger person and have to not engage, because not only am I representing myself as a woman of color that loves video games, I'll be everywhere, you know what I mean? And I also have to represent my brand. So it is very, very hard, because you see the shit damn near all the time. And you look at it and you're like, I want to be petty today.
Yeah,
I want to be,
girl.
I want to respond today. I tell the ladies all the time, I'm like, yo, can I be petty today? Cause nah, don't do it. It ain't worth it. All the time. So I understand where the developer's coming from, and we have to find a way to engage with the consumers and not be toxic, and not the consumers to be toxic to the developers. Because at the end of the day, they trying to do their job. They trying to get their paper, and they don't, any negative notions from them will be detrimental to their sales of their games.
I agree.
So,
I mean, and then it's also you're always on a slippery slope as a developer, because you don't want to build up a negative perception if you do try to protect yourself or do speak up on something that you're responding to that's negative. You're like, oh, they threw me in defensive about their game, or they lying about this, and 9 out of 10 gamers don't know. Like, we don't know exactly how hard it is to make some of these games. Gaming development is ridiculously challenging, and difficult. And so as a consumer, sometimes you think, oh, it's easy to make this fix. Not knowing that they got to go through deployment cycles. You know, they have probably likely weekly sprints or 2-week sprints that they got to go through in order to get things approved by so-and-so, because you can't just release broken code. You just can't, you know.
Right, and you know that there's people deliberately playing your game to break your code.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Exploit it.
I feel like people, like you said, they just do not understand the great lengths that go into just developing, you know, a functioning game, just a game that runs, you know.
Right.
And I mean, like the one person I was talking to earlier, they're talking about how, you know, well, Xbox lies a lot. I'm like, well, I wouldn't consider it lying. Well, they're talking about, you know, like with the cloud compute for
Crackdown.
For Crackdown and whatnot. And I'm like, I wouldn't call it lying. I think
the question is, who lies less? Who lies less?
No, that's not.
I don't even think it's like that.
Let him finish. I know where Boogie's going with this, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that. I think that what happens is that people make assurances. They go to these sprint meetings and people are saying, all right, we're going to have this ready. Right? So then people in marketing make plans thinking that this particular item is going to be ready. Then all hell breaks loose. Some piece of code doesn't work with this piece of code, and somebody can't figure it out.
Right.
And it's not going to be ready on time. Shit happens.
So then marketing got to do what, Boogie?
Marketing has to go on. They either say nothing and don't admit anything, which happens a lot.
Yes.
Or marketing tries to pivot to focus on something else.
Right.
But it's hard. You know, it's just a shitty situation, and you try to recruit after, but people just don't understand game development. I told you I started reading that book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Yep. And everyone who plays games needs to read this book. You will have a better understanding about what actually happens when you develop a game, and you might understand that sometimes everything is coming together perfectly, and then one thing just makes all those dominoes fall. Yeah. It's just how code works, you know. And I've struggled with code. Code is like one of those things that it's a language, you know. And if you trying to jump into it late in life, it's hard as hell. So I think people, and logic is hard in it. So people don't get that. I got an A in that class though. But you know, people don't get that shit. Like I don't know. All these armchair devs, everybody got an opinion, but nobody knows what happened, what like goes into making a game. Just a game that functions, not that does all the bells and whistles, all the explosions and all that other shit, but just one where the guy is fucking running linearly, and he's doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, I agree completely. Did you want to say something, lady? Go ahead.
No, she took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, man, she nailed it, right? So it's like, man, I mean, it's a catch-22. It's like gamers feel like they can't win because they don't want to spend their money for a broken product, and like developers want to put out the best product they can, but it still may not be good enough for the gamers. Right. Like, because I've played some phenomenal games that people thought were just complete utter trash. It's like, yo, I love this game. How can you not like it? And then you look on Twitter and it's like, oh, this sucks, that sucks, this is lame, blah blah blah. Why you like that game? I mean, you like mediocrity, and I've heard so many things, you know, from this community, and from people just on your Twitter line, on Reddit. Like it gets outrageous. I know if it gets outrageous for me as a gamer, like developers, it's on a whole nother level. So I completely understand why they go silent. And a ton of developers do that. It's go silent. Just like we were complaining about it. I know you remember one, to give you an example, was with Anthem. You know, Anthem had those issues, server issues during the demo. When they had the alpha demo, not alpha demo, VIP demo. Yeah, the VIP demo. And at first they were responding. Okay, you guys, we're working on this. We're gonna make sure it's working. Blah blah blah. And next thing you know, they just go completely silent. In the back, just because the level of backlash that was going on in their thread was like, you couldn't even refresh. Every time you refresh the page, it was like page 1000. Like, it was just comment after comment after comment about how broken the game is, and if you release this, we're not buying it, and it's trash, da 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 da. And it's a free demo. Like, of course they're working on it. Of course you're upset because you can't get in or you can't play it, but they provided this as for free so you could try the game. So give them time to work these kinks out. This is what they want to do anyway. This is a demo. It wasn't like it was a release, an actual release. It was more, we trying to stress test and see what we need to do to optimize so that this game can come out in its best state. And it's like, this is basically what they're expecting. They're expecting for it to fail. They're expecting for it to go down. So let's work with them on getting these things resolved so that when the game come out, it's great. So yes. So is CHAREECE back yet? We still haven't heard her yet.
Yeah, she said that she was talking and apparently we can't hear her. So I think she's trying to figure out what's wrong.
What's going on? Okay, cool. All right, so we'll probably catch up with CHAREECE another time then, I guess, since we can't get our audio in here. But I do see that lady put the questions out there. So if you guys have any questions for us, feel free to post them in the chat. Don't forget to start your question with the word question in all capital letters so we can find them easily. And yeah. So.
Yeah, Mitch dies a lot. Please put it in big letters so I can see it, because I had to really dig. What do you think of think that Sony is trying to buy Take-Two?
Okay, wait. Say that one more time.
Do you think that Sony is trying to buy Take-Two? There it is. There's a lot of T's in there. Okay.
I'll go first. So no, I don't think Sony is trying to buy Take-Two. I believe that the Sony exec came out and debunked it already. He said that he don't know where that rumor is coming from, and that they're not in a process to buy Take-Two. But man, that would have been interesting if they did move forward with trying to make that purchase. So yeah, I mean, because Take-Two did what they do, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that would have been ridiculously huge if Sony was like, yeah, we buy Take-Two, boom, done deal. But yeah, I don't think, first of all, to be real, I don't think Sony has the capital to be able to make that kind of purchase. I mean, so yeah, now Microsoft was coming out and saying, yeah, we about to acquire Take-Two. I would believe them, because Microsoft was almost $1 trillion company. Like I would believe that more than Sony's about to make that type of purchase. But I'm gonna get called to Xbox for this, for saying that probably, but it's whatever. I know the facts. Any other questions?
Yo, I don't see none. I'm looking. I'm skimming. If you guys got some questions, let me know.
Boogie, did you hear that rumor about the Sony Take-Two thing?
I did not.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I really didn't. I took it with a grain of salt, man.
Yeah.
These video game rumors, you just don't.
Right. It's been rumored. This is rumor season. I mean, because you got E3 coming up.
Right.
It's gonna be a bunch of rumors come out about this and about that. I just find it interesting that it seemed like Microsoft rumors is always almost borderline real. Like everybody else rumors be super far fetched, but Microsoft's rumors be like that could be true. Like because it's like I don't think they have a really good filter. Like, you know, somebody they must got a leak. Somebody who like they can't plug all their leaks is what I'm trying to say. Like that's what it feel like. Because I remember last year, prior to E3, and how they were talking about some things in regards to like studios and all that. Then we didn't know for whether it was confirmed or not, but I just remember that being part of the rumor mill. So
I have a question for the ladies in the panel. Any you guys got the Division? Any other game pickups?
Oh, Devil May Cry 5. It's one. Yeah, I'm trying to jump on. But now I'm in the Division world, and I can't. It's gonna be hard for me to put Division 2 down. So yeah, I mean, that's the next one on my list. Is definitely try to finish DMC5. Outside of that, I mean, it's been game after game lately. I don't understand. Yeah. You know.
I'm getting Mortal Kombat 11. That's a wrap.
Oh, I'm in the beta. I need to play that.
Girl,
it's today?
It's this weekend.
Yes,
The
wow,
stress
okay.
test is this weekend.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
And don't forget, you guys can't stream it. That's what I was reading. Like, you can't stream it, so be careful.
That's okay. I ain't streaming it. I did some
Oh, you
things.
got into?
I did that thing, and then I was like, man, I can't even record it, man. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying the stress test. You can't play with people, like, I can't play with LBOOGIE, but you just have to play with some random people, and they won't show you much stuff, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Glad we got some more questions in the chat.
Okay, Lady Foxfire, hello, girl.
Yay.
Thank you for sending me some food. Question. I missed the first half of the show, but did you ladies address inside Xbox and how people felt that there was an agenda because it wasn't an all-female crew?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
We talked about that. It was because it was the
wasn't?
international that there wasn't an all. What do you mean?
There wasn't.
She must meant there was. She probably must have meant there was. Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the show about it, you know, being inside Xbox and how we thought it was great that it was an all woman cast for the show. So yeah, you might want to rewind.
Yeah.
I think she was saying that because people were like, well, why was it all women? Because they like obviously don't pay attention and didn't know that it was International Women's Day that week, and that they were doing it as a homage to women. And yeah.
Okay. I hope that answered your question, Lady Foxfire. On to the next question. Kadrian Hardy. So the story in the Division. Kadarian Hardy. So the story in the Division 2. So the story in the Division 2, do they continue? I guess you were trying to say, did they continue the story from the first one?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's a direct continuation. It's 6 months after the first game.
Yeah.
In a different location.
Okay. I got one from Mitchie Dies a Lot. Do you think that Anthem should have been delayed? If so, for how long?
Yes, I think it should have been delayed personally because there's too many games coming out right now. But that's a personal thing because I just got way too many in my backlog. But I just think it was should have been delayed because of all the bugs. It still got a ton of bugs. I think 6 months would have did that game some good. Release it around E3 would have been fantastic.
Okay.
Anybody else? I mean, like I'm spewing.
You know what? I didn't even touch Anthem at all, so that ain't even my question.
What about you? Do you think Anthem should have been delayed? Are you done with Anthem?
No,
Boogie?
it should. Oh no, Boogie.
No, I'm not done with Anthem, but right now it's taking a seat because they definitely. I pretty much did everything that I could do.
Yeah.
How long you had the game for? Like a month?
I don't know. Is that how long it's been out?
It released on February 22nd.
Oh, okay, well,
second.
not a month.
Not
Not a
even-
month
not even
yet.
a
Less than a
month.
month. So you're done. It's a wrap. She did everything.
Right. Yeah, I pretty much done everything. I haven't gotten to like the master level or whatever,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like when they start, bringing out more content is when I'll come back.
Okay. Understandable. Let me see. Lawless, ain't nobody talking about what is that? Sekiro, Dark Souls Samurai, Dark Souls 2019. Nobody. Look,
The game looks good, but I don't know. It's just
it's Dark Souls but Samurai. Okay, you ready for that life? Let me know.
Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, I think is what it's called.
I got a question from Jazzy Noob. Always coming through, always supporting. Day one, let's go. Since Xbox started to become a software platform, instead of just a console box, what do you think this does for the industry? Even PlayStation is starting to talk about it.
Talking about becoming a streaming service only or non-hardware business type deal. Is that what you're saying? I'm very indifferent on this because I think Microsoft will always have a physical box, like at least for a while, at least 10 years. I think that. I mean, we're seeing a shift right now into services and things like that, and I think it's a natural progression to go that way. But I think that Microsoft is still going to have a physical platform as far as like a console. Because some people, believe it or not, people still prefer that way to play. People prefer the easy barrier of entry of not having to worry about my PC specs, making sure my settings is on point to run it. These frames, my game is the frame rate isn't all that stuff like that. When you're a console gamer, all that goes out the window. You don't have to even think about any of that. So I think that's the most welcoming thing, and it's just preferred. I mean, people don't. It's funny because people aren't saying these things about Nintendo. And Nintendo has, they've been announced that they're trying to do something as far as online, and they charge for their online service now and things like that. But it's just like a different conversation when you talk about certain companies, and I think that part of it is a little bit unfair.
Oh, okay, I see.
Really, but
I do see. I'm not trying to act like I'm. Look,
yeah, okay.
Okay, look. There's some. I'm just learning. Sometimes when I talk to you guys about stuff, I be learning too, and I'm just trying to absorb information. I'm not trying to be like nonchalant about it. Dang, Delilah.
Yeah, you sound like you was a little bit like nonchalant about it, but it's all good. He's like, okay, next. Let's go.
I wasn't trying to. I swear. X Watson, you had a question, but you didn't put questions in big letters, so I couldn't see it. So again, I think you have a question that says, it seems that Xbox can't catch a break, whatever way they turn. Do they need to just stop on social media and let this gen finish out and be ready for all of next gen? Is that the question?
What do you mean? I'm confused by that question, because it's like, what do you mean when you say that they should just get off social media? Because the only thing I see them doing on social media is promoting their stuff. Like, how is that bad? Like, I don't get it. I don't get that question really. Like, okay, so they
question mark on the end, so I assume it was a question.
Well, yeah, no, clearly it's a question, but I'm talking about from my own personal. Like, I'm taking that question in, I'm processing it, and I'm like, so you telling them to get off social media? What are they doing so wrong on social media? Like, I don't get it. They like anybody else. So you're saying that people who work there shouldn't be on social media? Like, and that they shouldn't advertise or talk about their games on social media? Like, I don't. I mean, are you people saying that because Nintendo?
I think he's asking that if they should just stop neglect like future titles of this current generation and focus. They're slowly focus on their future generation of consoles. I'm gonna say no, because you still got to get that paper.
Yeah,
you still got to get that paper. And even though we are like towards the end of the cycle, they still got to make that money. They still got to pump out those games. And believe it or not, social media it's a platform that everybody promotes their stuff. It seems like it does seem like at times that Microsoft always get the shitty end of the stick when it comes to social media. But what they're gonna do? Not promote their shit? They got to continue what they do. I see more Xbox promotion than PlayStation and Nintendo. Only on certain days of the week, or if it's a Nintendo Direct, you wouldn't really see that much stuff going on. So,
I mean, you ask them to stop. Microsoft, as far as advertising is concerned, has always been an issue. So it's like you ask them to stop the only means of advertising that we do see. Like I'm just not. I'm not being big since Xbox is my preferred platform. I don't want to. I like the internet. I like the interaction. I like the fact that Phil sometimes goes on these tangents and get questions from people, and like that Aaron Greenberg is always doing some sort of promotion on Twitter. Like, I like that. I think that's very engaging, and I think it should continue. I don't want to see it go away. So I guess that's why I got low key offended on it. It's like, wait, what? You want him to stop? Like, I don't get that. You know what I mean? So,
okay. Anybody else want to tackle that question?
Quiet.
Yeah, quiet. We'll go to the next question. When boredom set in, what does a full game mean to you? Question mark. People say that Anthem should have been a full game, but should they be singled out for having bugs when most live services game have issues initially?
See, as far as this question, I feel like, yeah, they should have waited. Knock out as many bugs as you can, because I want the game. I mean, from a personal standpoint, I want the game to be as polished as possible prior to release. Don't release it if it's super buggy. Like, as soon as I load up the game, it crashes. Like, as soon as I go into a different area, it doesn't load, or the loading gets stuck, or I get kicked back to the home screen. Like, fix all this stuff. Like, to me, I don't like the whole broken games initiative, is what I call it. Like, they shipping broken games and fixing them, patching them later. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm super old school when it comes to that. So be like Nintendo and polish the crap out of it before you release it. Nintendo does a great job with that, of making sure that their games are very polished prior to release.
They also take forever to come out.
That's true too. That's true too.
I'm just saying, like, people like ready, like, I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too, type of thing, And it's like, sometimes you can't,
Yeah, I get it, because like the mantra right now in today's development environment is to always ship. Like, you got to ship something. Even if it's like, that's why you have these sprints and why you have these constant updates and things like that, and software development. So I get it, and they're treating games the same way. I understand, but I think gamers just have a different mindset when it comes to that, because we want things to work. Because otherwise, why charge full price? If you're gonna bring out a game that's not all the way there, release it at a small price point. Like, okay, look, we're gonna charge $20 because this game is out. It's good, but it ain't great yet. We're gonna patch it and fix it, and then so we're gonna have this set of game content at $20. And like 6 months from now, we're gonna release another set of game content for another $20 until you get to $60. But like, it's just, you can't expect people to drop $60 on something that's just broken and half there. Like, I can beat the game in 5 hours, and that's $60. Heck no. I'm not gonna be, happy with that purchase.
Okay. It was a decent question. I like that. I got Fozzie with the question. Predictions: Avengers Endgame.
Oh gosh.
They gonna die. They're gonna come back and they're gonna beat Thanos. That's
right.
What's gonna happen.
They say everybody not coming back though.
I heard Spider-Man ain't coming back. I heard he ain't coming back.
Yeah, but Spider-Man got a movie coming out after Endgame. So, like, how are you just going to have another movie? Like, they're just making you think that because, they don't want you to just know for sure that he's coming back.
It's the spin.
At the same time, he has a fucking movie coming out after. So,
yeah, it's definitely the spin. I mean, they did that last time with the previous movie. They made you think one thing and then it's actually another. I love it because I don't want them to spoil it.
Right.
Okay, let me see. I think we have one more question from Jonathan B. Welcome.
I agree, Streets. Cap is dead. You gotta be ready for that shit. That's what you need to be ready for.
Yes, I think he's dead too. But
that's why they brought Captain Marvel out, because
so crazy. We gotta replace him.
What was your first console, and what is your current platform of choice?
Jonathan B.
Okay. All right. My first one was a Nintendo Classic NES.
Mhm.
And then when I was in school, they had the little Apple computer games. So it's like my first things. My preferred console is gonna be Xbox. If y'all ain't know, you better ask somebody. But I do have a PlayStation and a PC, so it's not like I'm close-minded with my shit. I just have a preferred console. So.
And then I got the first console that was actually mine was a Nintendo Classic, and then my dad had me playing kind of on the Atari back in the day. And then I had two. I have an X, I have a Pro, I have a Switch, I have all that good stuff. I got a PC, although I don't really play on the PC, but still, I got it. I love technology. But yeah, Xbox is my preferred console, as most people know, because I think that they are the only people out here trying to really have inclusion. So
yeah, for me, same boat. I mean, my first console was classic NES, 4.5 years old, and then like a little bit later, I would say like a year and a half or so after that, got to play a little bit of Atari with a friend. So I was dabbled a little bit, and then just kind of went up the whole entire process of like SNES. I was Nintendo all day, like SNES, Nintendo 64, and then somewhere like after that I switched over to like Xbox and been Xbox ever since. So that's my preferred platform, always since the OG days. I really enjoyed the original Xbox platform that started it all for me. So that is my preferred platform. I also have the other consoles as well. And as of Thursday, I got an Xbox. I got a PlayStation Pro. So,
Pro
Life. But I also had have a PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 4 prior to them, but you know, I don't really play it nearly as much as Xbox. But I also have a Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation 3. Let me see what else we got around here. I think that's it. So a bunch of Xbox. I got an Xbox One X. Bunch of Xboxes. Well, we got more Xboxes than anything else. So that should let you know what this household is, what this family is about.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let me check if we have any more questions. All right. I appreciate the questions, y'all. Yes. All right. I think that's it.
That's it. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do our closing. Then I guess I'll start with you, lady.
Okay. You guys, thank you so much for stopping by today. We hit 20s. We've been hitting 20s for the last couple of weeks. I'm liking that. Woo! So I want to thank everybody that stopped by every morning. I want to thank all the new people that showed up today. Welcome. We do this every Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern. Look, just check my Twitter, lady_infamous30. You're going to have all the information of what videos come out on my YouTube channel, what streams that I'm going to put out on Twitch, which I'm going to play This Is the Police tonight or later on today. And just thank y'all. For coming through and showing us love.
Yep, much appreciated. And this is your girl. I'm the hosting today. So this is Delilah_HD on Twitter. Thank you so much for rocking out with us. We do appreciate you all. Go ahead, LBOOGIE.
It's LBOOGIE0208. I appreciate everyone that comes every week. We got like a little good following going on now. We're starting to get some traction. Make sure you tell your friends, you tell your wife, your husband, your family members, all them. Tell them to come through. We love everybody, and yeah, it's all love.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, forgot we're also on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor. Yeah, so if you can't check us out live, feel free to download us later, or when you're at work, or you just chilling, you want something cool to listen to, check us out. Bye everybody.
Bye you guys. Have a great weekend.
Peace.